Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's first final video. We're going to have a look at whether the next 10 to 14 days for today's final video. Day 10 takes us to the 20th of May and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM Ensembles. May run around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at the CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. That gets us into the early part of June and I shall get on with that for you in a moment. Just to say that first, the video today was our 6 AM UK weather forecast. I've also released the extended USA forecast as well today. Please check out today's 2 vids. Like, share, subscribe on the video. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. We need to put on fewer than 20 subscribers. I think it's about 17 or 18 subscribers to get ourselves to 15.8k subs. Moved very quickly yesterday. If you could give us a sub, tell friends and family to subscribe as well, that'd be absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for doing that. We're so close to 15.8k. Now, of course, men will push on 15.9k, and our ultimate target at the moment is 16,000 subscribers. That would be exciting, wouldn't it? Right, okay, so thank you so much everybody for subbing, liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, all that good stuff. And thanks so much. We'll crack on with the 10 to 14 day event. So starting off with CT, central temperature is now sitting at 12.6, which is 1.4 degrees above the 61 to 99 average. That is provisional to yesterday, to the 9th of May. So a relatively warm first 10 days to May. Their temperatures over a degree above average. So these are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Exeter, home of UK Met. We're starting off around to a little bit below average at the moment. We'll find those upper air temperatures both lifting up a little bit again as we get through towards the end of the week and into the weekend, then dropping though as we go into the early part of next week, not particularly deviating though much from long-term averages, to be honest. So we'll be very close to the long-term average, I think, over the next week to 10 days. However, there is a little bit of a sign of a warm-up here as we're going from the third week into the final week of May. We do see a little bit of a sign of a warm-up there, particularly with the GFS midnight operational run, which is this thick green line. That actually becomes one of the warmest ensemble members, but not an outlier, because there are others doing something similar. The control does something similar as well. That's the thick blue line. So you've got the operational and the control both lifting up through into the last week of May. We could be in line for a little bit of a warm-up there as we get into the final week of the month. Precipitation-wise, it does look a little bit showery, I have to say. Maybe not quite as wet as some of these ensemble graphs have been looking over the past few days. But nevertheless, there is regular precipitation spikes there from beginning really to end. So it does look as though we keep it pretty showery over the next, certainly the next week to 10 days. But signs maybe of a little bit of a warming trend into the last week of the month. Temperature anomalies from the 10th to the 18th of May are coming out a bit below average, particularly so for England and for Wales. And precipitation anomalies, which I'm going to just flip over, hold on. Precipitation anomalies from the 10th to the 18th of May. Actually a bit drier than average. That's a big change on what the GFS has been showing over recent days. It's been generally showing wetter than average conditions, but today it's shifted to like a drier than average anomaly for the next week to 10 days. That might be because we've got yesterday's torrential showers and thunderstorms out of the way. Latest Windflow Map from earthnowschool.net shows that low pressure remains in control of the weather today. The low is sitting just to the west of Scotland and bringing wind from off the Atlantic. So, you know, showery westerly winds and whatnot. Right, let's have a look at some chart data then. So beginning with the UK Met Euro run midnight on Saturday, a nice ridge building through the country as we begin the weekend. That ridge is holding on into early sunny as well, but by the end of sunny into Monday, a trough is actually moving through the country, bringing showery conditions back and also cooler temperatures. And then beyond that, as we go through into the middle of next week, we have high pressure way to our northwest. We bring in this northeasterly wind, so quite a cool, showery northeasterly wind then sets up as we move into the middle part of next week. Driest weather with that will be to the north and west. Icon, again, has that nice ridge building through the country on Saturday. That's breaking, though, as we go through Sunday into Monday, allowing a trough of low push southwards, bringing some shower conditions and also cooler northwesterly winds as well. After that, high pressure starts to ridge in from off the Atlantic. That begins to turn things a little bit drier as we go through into the middle part of next week, and also not much of a northeasterly wind with that, so that's a little bit warm as well, with that high pressure bridging in through the middle of next week. The GFS midnight run, again, has that ridge of, now I know it's going to become quite warm later on, let's see how it happens, has that ridge of high pressure building through the country over the weekend. Doesn't last, though, into the end of the weekend and next week. A trough of low pressure will bring shower conditions back, and also cooler northerly winds. We keep those winds coming from the north and from the northeast into the middle of next week as well. Before high pressure starts ridging back in later on next week, bringing drier conditions once more. That's day 10, with high pressure building over Scandinavia. Winds are going into more of an easterly direction. And beyond that, we just build up quite a nice ridge from the southwest to the northeast. So as we go to the last week of May, signs of a warm-up under this ridge of high pressure. That looks drier and also warmer. So that's how the warmer upper air temperatures start getting going as we go into the last week of May. GFS 6 then, again, with that ridge building through the country on Saturday. Quite a weak ridge though, so it doesn't last into Sunday and Monday. Showery conditions returning with cooler north or northeasterly winds as well. Actually a very strong northeasterly there through the early part of next week, with an area of low pressure just off the East Anglian coast. So that will bring potentially some quite wet weather into the east or the southeast, along with rather cool northeast winds, so that's not great. Into the second half of next week, though, we get rid of that low and high pressure takes over to our northeast, but settles things down later next week. But also has the wind in from the east and the northeast, so not a heat wave, but it does turn a little bit drier and warmer into the second half of next week then. And if high pressure more or less over the country, that looks quite nice for the weekend of the 20th to the 21st of May. That ridge lasting as we move towards the final week of the month, for low pressure then starts coming back in from off the Atlantic. So as ever with this spring, the ridges only last a few days, and then we're back into more unsettled conditions once more. If you enjoyed the video, please can you like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. Why not drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. And don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much for doing that. Just another 17 or 18 subscribers will get us to 15.8k. So if you could give us a sub, that would be amazing. Thank you so much. GM, again, with this ridge building through the country on Saturday. Just about trying to hold on into Sunday, but by Monday we're back into more showering conditions, I think, taking us into a cooler and more showery early part of next week. Remember, GEM just was generally quite showery through most of next week, actually. Has weaker pressure away to the north and west, with just a trough sitting around the country within quite cool air. So the GEM and all of the model output is cooler and more showery, I think, for next week. And then the ECM once again has a ridge building through the country for Saturday, just about holding on into Sunday, but by Sunday to Monday that ridge has broken. Looks like it's turning more showery there once again. And then we go into Tuesday. We've got high pressure out to the west and winds coming in from the north or northeast direction. It's rather cool and showery. And we keep those rather cool, showery northeast winds going into the middle of next week as well, before high pressure eventually starts building back across the country from the north, turning things perhaps drier up towards days 8, 9, 10, and settling things down a little bit more then as well. This is a precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from TemP. So lots of heavy showers to come over the next few hours. They'll fade out overnight tonight, and then more showers coming back again tomorrow. After that, we go through into the last stages of the week with a drying trend as high pressure builds in for the weekend. But early part of next week will bring shower conditions back in from off the Atlantic again. And then just keep it rather showery. Got some wet weather moving in from the east there through the middle part of next week. So that brings showery conditions in from the east. So we just keep things rather showery, to be honest, all the way up towards day 10. Although by day 10 itself could be turning a bit drier. These are the options on the table within the ECM Ensembles today for day 10. Gets us to the 20th of May. From the Icelandic Met Office, 20 members of the ECM Ensembles, including controlling the operational run, have high pressure to our north and northwest. That brings the wind in from more of an easterly direction, so that should be drier by day 10, but not a heat wave. Winds are coming in from the east or the northeast, but should be drier and pleasant. 17 with high pressure away to our west and northwest. That brings the wind in from more of a northeasterly direction. So again, could be quite a bit of dry weather with that, but a bit on the cool side. And then 14 again with high pressure to the north, the low pressure into the south. The winds are coming in from the east with that. So all of the options have wind in from like an east or northeast direction. But this is the most unsettled option for the south anyway, as that low could bring some heavy showers, maybe a bit of thunder into more southern parts of the country. And then in 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. This gets us to the 25th of May. 21 members of the ECM Ensembles have high pressure over Scandinavia and bring the wind in from the east. So again, we look at quite a bit of dry weather with that. Should be relatively warm. Might be a bit more of a southeasterly to that wind direction as well. So that could be quite warm. 17 with high pressure over and to the west of the country. That's going to be mostly dry again. That could be a little bit cooler though, winds in from the northeast. And then 13, much more unsettled with a trough of low pressure over and to the east of the country. And so obviously, going to have a wind in from the northeast with that cool and quite unsettled. CFS, that's my notch option mode. CFS V2, finally, these are 500 millibar height anomalies, breaking down into week periods. The first week period will take us from the 10th to 16th of May. The coming week, we'll have high pressure over Scandinavia and bring the wind in from the east. So, it should be a lot of dry weather in the coming few days, although by the end of weekend into the beginning of next week, possibly starting to turn a little bit more unsettled again. Week 2 is going to be the 17th to the 23rd of May. Big area of high pressure to our north and winds coming in from more of an easterly or a northeasterly direction with that. So again, a lot of dry weather on offer, but it could be a little bit on the cool, so I won't be expecting a heat wave there. Now, week 3 looks quite nice. This is the 24th of May to the 30th with high pressure over to the north and east of the country. That changes the wind direction, drags the wind up from the south and from the southeast. That could be a warmer, drier week. And then week 4 is going to be the 31st of May to 6th of June. High pressure looks like it might be starting to move more towards the central eastern part of Europe with low pressure out in the Atlantic. Could that be hinting at a bit of thunder maybe? Very warm possibly, but maybe a bit of thunder there. Thundery breakdown as we go into early June. I would not rule it out, but we shall see. Time will tell. You will have noticed with that there is more an anticyclonic influence, though, in weeks 1, 2, 3, throughout, really. There's much more an anticyclonic influence from the CFS today. So, very gradually, we might be starting to inch our way to a drier and warmer second half to May. Possibly, but it's quite a change on what I've been seeing in the both the short range and the longer range or the medium range model output over recent weeks, which have looked quite changeable for the second half of May. So I wouldn't guarantee it, but we might be starting to see a change here for the second half of May, particularly the last week, 10 days I would have thought, to something drier and warmer. So watch this space. Right, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please can you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Why not drop a comment? Let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. And don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so very much, everybody, for doing that. for us. And I'll just tell you what's coming up tomorrow. As I say, 17, 18 subs will get us to 15.8k, so please subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, doing that. I'll just tell you tomorrow, we have we're going to start our 6 a.m. UK weather forecast, got the European outlook to come tomorrow, and a 10 to 14 day as well. Please keep checking back to the channel for all of our content. And we thank you so very much, everybody, for doing that. You enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. And for this one, though, that's all for now. And thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.